Hello, my favorite traders. Today is Monday, August 8th, and I am a sick trader today. I probably shouldn't have traded on cold meds, but it is what it is. So let's get right into it today. We had a pretty low volume day today on the S&P, about 1.11 million contracts traded. Normally, we usually trade around 1.5 million a day. So something, if you're kind of watching activity and watching, doing your end of day homework, I would recommend always kind of writing down the amount of volume done for the prior day so you can compare it. Because over time you'll see some days are really extremely high volume days and other days are very low volume days. So this indicator that I have on my trading view is called buying and selling volume. And you can get it with the live data feed. I think you need the premium plan to get this, not the, I think it's just the one step up from the basic plan to allow you to get this type of data that you'll need to be able to get this in real time. Otherwise, it's a little bit delayed. So this is on TradingView. And today we ended up in this kind of weird little doji happening, and we are failing. So here you can see this level of 41.73 I had marked. That was the prior week. Oh man, I am on cold medication today. Not the prior week low, it's the prior week high. So 41.73 was the prior week high. That was that level. So we immediately failed from that. We got pretty close to hitting May 29th's level and also June 3rd's level here. So this is June 3rd. So we got pretty close to it. And I want to talk about my failed setups today. I took a lot of trades. I didn't exactly go on tilt, but it wasn't stellar trade management. And I could blame my cold meds, but I'm just going to blame myself and get on with it. So we ended at 41.29.25 here. For today. Now we can see the session, the market's open again because it is 5:27 p.m. Central as I'm doing this. So we can see here that the low for the day was 41.29. So we had pretty much a 70-point swing. But what was happening, if we go on the 5-minute chart, I want to show you a couple things that I did wrong with my failed setups, is we came out of the gate here. We had a huge push down in pre-market. I was kind of watching what we were doing in the Asian session and the London session, and we were just making kind of a nice, easy move up, right? And then right around 8 o'clock here, we took a beautiful dump down, and I missed this move up. Simply because it was on the open, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know I don't like to play the open like that, because there's so much volatility and whipsaw action that you could just get chopped up. And then what happened was we had a strong spike of volume here on the open, so we went from 41.60 all the way up to 41.87, and then we kind of flirted with 41.88.25. And I initially thought we were going to be able to at least touch the 41.91.50 level, because it looked, with all that volume coming in, it looked like we would be able to do it. But then what was happening, so you can see down here, there's a lot of strong volume, and cumulative delta is showing it as well. But then the volume starts to take a turn, and it goes down. So now we have a lot of selling volume, but we still have a decent amount of green volume here. And this is where I was thinking, okay, we may be able to do it. We may be able, this might just be a little pullback, and then we'll be able to hit that 41.9150 level. But instead, what we did was we just really kind of chopped around, and the volume died off. So then it became like this trash action where you can see we went from really nice volume levels on the 5-minute to really low volume levels, and we just chopped around. And let me show you what that looked like on my NinjaTrader, so you can see what ended up happening here. So this is the 10,000 volume chart, and it's the closest approximation that I could get to a 5-minute chart, because I don't want to get too fine in all of the details. My net loss today was $475, and I took way too many trades, I'll be honest. It just was a little bit of a shit show today. Oh, excuse me. A cluster fugazi. I think that might be a better way to say it. All right, so here we have the 8:30. Here we go. 8:30 right here. 8:30 we open on a doji. Then we're coming down. Then we have two super strong volume bars up. We have this really nice pullback pattern right here with this hammer candle that is indicating that we're going to have another leg up. And then we're crossing over the 10 EMA here. And the thing that I look for when we cross over is the price action matching it. I'm not so much like using EMA crossovers, because I don't use any other EMA other than the 10 EMA, which is the 10 exponential moving average, because I don't look for like golden crosses or death crosses. I used to do that when I was first starting out, but I don't do that anymore. I really want to look at the price action. So this 10,000 volume is equivalent to a 5-minute chart, sort of. And we can see here that this candle was super strong. Like this candle pushed right back up, and we went from 41.69 to 41.76 in this one candle. And if I take it down to the regular 3,000 volume chart that I normally use, let me just pull it all. Oops. Let me pull it back. So you can see here on the 3,000 volume chart, there's even more detail where it's these couple of candles right here are the ones that make it up, 41.73 to 41.65. So this is showing the pullback, and then it's showing the move up, right? So had I gotten in on this bullish move up, it would have been a really nice trade. It would have been 41.65 all the way to 41.82, and then we started petering out. So my thought was, I thought we were going to have a two-legged pullback. So here's kind of leg one of the pullback. But instead, what I should have really realized was, okay, here's 8:30, here's the move up, pullback, move up, another pullback right here, and then the big move up. So at this point, I was thinking that we'd have a third pullback here, and then we'd move up again to attempt to touch the 41.91 level that I was looking at. So I got long around here when I saw this candle, but then I ended up getting just basically, I just scratched it because I didn't like how we had a strong bear move at the same time, right? And then I said, okay, let me wait a little bit. And then we started grinding upwards. So I figured, okay, we have enough momentum. I got in long again here. I got stopped out here. And then I tried it one more time here. Got stopped out here. Then I went back in here thinking, okay, we're definitely, now we're gonna get it going again, right? And then I just got stopped out. And you could see I gave it a little bit of time. But what was happening, and this is why it's kind of important to look at different time frames as well, so you're not just caught up on one time frame. The 10,000 volume chart was showing a similar picture to the 5-minute chart, right? Where we had a lot of shaggy candles. And when I say shaggy candles, I mean that there's no like clear stair step move to these candles. These candles are all forming right on top of each other. There's no like really good movements for us to capitalize off of. And on the 5-minute chart, it pretty much shows the same thing here, where we could see I've clearly marked it that it is a major area of chop and consolidation right here. So then what I decided to do was I said, all right, I'm going to wait for this to break down out of supply, because I thought once we were in supply that we would now be forming some structure in here and then taking another leg up. But clearly that was not the case. So I decided that I was going to wait for us to break down out of supply, out of this 41.73 area, and then come down to at least 41.61. And initially I was down about $1,000 from all of my attempts, and my bias was very bullish, even though I should have been more neutral in seeing that we had this big move up and then we just kind of petered out. So that's one thing that I'm going to work on in the future, is like when I see like my bias is not working out, I'm just going to take a step back and wait a minute, because the market's open. The pit session is 6.5 hours, right? So you have 6.5 hours to get your piece of pie. So I shouldn't have been too eager to get it done right at the open, which is a lesson learned for me. So what I did was I waited for the breakdown, and then I decided to go short and play the down move, right? So I was able to capitalize here, where I was able to get in and then have a good profit level here. Did I get in here? I believe so. Nope, I think I got in. I think I might have scratched there. So I got in here on this pullback right here, this 41.59, and I was able to capitalize 41 down to 41.45, which gave me a $600 gain, which netted my loss at about loss right there for the day. And then I attempted to get back in, which I really don't know why I did that. I should have just stuck with my levels and been a little bit clearer in saying, okay, this is garbage right here. It's just chopping around. Let's just wait for a good actual breakdown from the levels. So then the other thing that I kind of want to point out is this area here has been a major area of just a bunch of noise and chop. So if you look at 41.61.75 all the way to 41.26 and really down to 41.13, this level could be considered a bunch of just randomness because we've been consolidating, chopping around in this level. You can see here after we had our two major moves down, which would have been a really nice trade because it broke down. Then you could have ideally entered underneath the close of this candle, right? So you could have got in around 41.69, wrote it down here to 41.46, and then if you wanted to stay in the trade longer, so let's see, this trade would have been 10.35 to 11.15, right? So you would have been able to capitalize on a really nice 30 plus point move down. That would have been a good short. But again, just because the market is moving doesn't necessarily mean you have to trade it. You have to trade what your plan is. And if your plan is going from supply to demand, like mine is, figuring out the levels, then you really have to focus on that. Because one thing that I noticed that I did was towards the end of my trading session, I wasn't playing to win at all. Like, I just wasn't. I was playing not to lose. And that's a huge difference. It really affects your mentality. So the best thing to do in days like this is sit on your hands, wait for your setup to occur, and then go for it. And I know that's advice like you've probably heard before, but it really is so true because I just caused myself a lot of loss. I had to work to get that loss down to a smaller level of 475, and then I just called it a day. So that's one thing that I hope my experience can help you, and I hope if you like this, you will give it a like and you'll subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.